Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to talk about an article from Vox, an amazing publication site, by the way, really high quality journalism. And you might say, wait, you're reviewing a Vox article, isn't that low-hanging fruit? And the answer is, yes, it is low-hanging fruit because their arguments are monumentally retarded. It's really hard to read these articles and not just do a response, just saying, fuck this is retarded, stupid, like, and then that be the end of the video. It's really tempting to not do that. It's really tempting to do that. Sorry, I can't talk today. It's really tempting to do that because that's the quality of, like, that's the response on the same level as their article. That stupid response with no actual credible rebuttal is on par with how dumb their article is. So my rebuttal will actually be more intelligent than their article. So this is not going to be properly, like, I'm going to edit out and I'm going to be sarcastic. Yeah, there we go, right there. Suburban women want Congress to act on gun control, Republican poll finds. So even though Vox is low-hanging fruit and everyone who works there has an IQ of room temperature, the studies they are citing are actually correct. They didn't make up these polls or the poll results. You know, these are actually the view of suburban women, which shows you how dumb they are. Suburban women are the Karens of the world. The Karens, the Becky, the Susans. You know, just look it up. I'm assuming you guys are on the internet with memes because you guys are watching this video in the first place. You guys know the stereotypical suburban woman. It is a white, middle-class woman with a short haircut who is entitled, narcissistic, a complete fucking cunt, bitchy, thinks completely on emotion, is quick to anger, quick to judge, does not think rationally, does not have, like, consistent moral principles when doing much anything. It's just whatever she feels like doing on the whim. No self-reflection whatsoever. Just completely horrible people. I mean, entitled middle-class suburban women, mostly white, are incredibly fucking annoying to deal with. They are the judgy people who look down on you with their big noses up in the air, judging you. Oh, you listen to heavy metal? That's satanic. Oh, you want guns? Oh, you must be dangerous. I'm going to call the HOA. Like, those are the type of people that these polls... And look at this picture. That woman is a Susan. That woman with the orange hat, holy shit, that looks like Frankenstein's bride. And then on the right, we have this guy with the stupid hat who's a complete cuck. So let's go into this, shall we? Suburban women were Republicans' weak spot in 2018 midterms. In some swing districts, they overwhelmingly want action on gun control. In a nutshell, the problem is that Republicans' solutions to problems or their stances on policies are incredibly based. They seem harsh or too hard because they would actually work. Democrats support solutions that aren't really solutions, and they exacerbate problems that already exist because it makes them feel good. It's a stereotypical parent relationship where the mom is loving and understanding and trying to listen to the kid and trying to just not trying to understand. Nope. It's like, oh, dear, don't be too hard on them because they got bad grades or because they were out doing something bad. And the dad is the logical, rational one's like, no, they did something bad. This is what we have to do to correct the behavior. No, don't give into their sob stories. No, don't be lenient on his majesty. Increase his bad behavior. That's just like Democrats and Republicans. That's why most women vote Democrat and most men vote Republican. Because that's how our brains are wired. Suburban women in some swing house districts overwhelmingly want tighter gun laws, a new poll conducted by a Republican firm has found. In fact, preventing gun violence has surpassed health care as the most important issue in the eyes of these women, including independents. Here, right off the bat, is an illustration of why women mostly think with emotion and not rational logic. I know that's such a Ben Shapiro meme thing, but they don't think... See, I base all of my opinions on everything based on stats. For example, shark deaths. I am literally not afraid of sharks when I go in the ocean at all. Why? Because on average, one person dies every 2 years in the U.S. Killed by sharks. That's it. One every 2 years. That is so incredibly fucking rare. It is literally not even worth my time to devote fear to that. It's just so rare. Getting struck by, you're more likely to be struck by lightning. Now, lightning, that chance is a little bit higher, so that's why you don't just run out in an open field during a lightning storm. You know, you seek shelter. That's a logical response because it happens a little more often. But even then, that's incredibly fucking rare. So I don't like start crying and cowering. I don't have a death fear whenever a storm brews. Like, oh, it might produce light. We have to go now. We have to get inside. No, we can't run errands where it's lightly raining. It might turn to lightning storm in any second. Like, that is a hyper emotional, not logical response to rain or storm. This is the same thing here. Gun violence is so incredibly rare in the U.S., especially in suburbia USA, where these dumb cunts live. Infinitely more people die because of healthcare problems, like accidents on the operating table or doctors mismanaging shit. Like, tens of thousands of people die every single year due to healthcare problems. I'll put up the stat in the video right now because I don't have it in front of me when I'm recording this. Infinitely more people die because of healthcare versus gun homicides. But they don't think of those stats whenever they think that gun violence is more important than healthcare. Me, looking at it logically, it's like, well, healthcare affects you literally every single day with regards to coverage or accidents or medication. Not to mention just the sheer number of deaths. You know, I think there could be a lot done to improve the healthcare system in the U.S. That's a whole subject for another time, but just one of them, just limiting the amount of deaths due to fucking retarded-ass people working in the healthcare system. So I'm infinitely more concerned with healthcare versus gun violence because it kills way more people. But these women act on emotion, and they don't even look up those stats. I bet if you ask any of these people, if you ask the average person, what kills more, healthcare accidents or guns, if they're a Democrat or a radical leftist, they're going to say guns kill way more people. Actually, they don't. They really don't even come close. But in the wake of two recent mass shootings in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, Congress and President Trump are showing few signs of taking action to pass even basic legislation to curb shootings, including a bipartisan universal background check bill that was the most popular measure among the women surveyed. Again, a second reason why they are completely hysterical about this non-existent problem, because a universal background check wouldn't have stopped those shootings. It would have done absolutely nothing to curb mass shootings. When they say universal background checks, what they mean is background checks when two individual people one sells a gun to another person, a private transaction. I can't think of any mass shooter who got their guns just by buying it from some random person on Craigslist or a neighbor or something like that. Literally, that never happens. Or if it does, it is incredibly rare as compared to people buying guns illegal in the black market or buying them legally, then they use them. Okay, it doesn't even fucking come close. These women are so hysterical and emotional that they don't even realize that the most popular measure they were surveyed wouldn't even solve the problem they are supposedly think is a huge fucking problem, which is it's not even a problem. That's how dumb they are. That is how hysterical they are. That is how caught up in the rhetoric. They turn on as like CNN or MSNBC when they're getting ready in the morning, or they're watching with the kids with the home or something or whatever, and they just see the 24/7 bullshit media news cycle hyping up gun violence in the U.S. and they think it's some super enormous problem, and they don't even look up stats to see, well, is that actually a bad thing? Is that actually as bad as they say it is? Like, is that actually a problem? No, they just believe Don Lemon mansplaining his vagina, ironically, all over CNN, and they just believe it without even thinking. First reported by the Washington Post, James Hammond, I think that's how you say his last name, the public opinion strategy poll commissioned by the Republican Main Street Partnership surveyed 1,000 women in 5 congressional districts. Colorado 6th, Kansas is 3rd, North Carolina is 9th, Pennsylvania is 1st, and Virginia is 10th. Some which have personally been affected by high-profile gun violence. Colorado's 6th congressional district, for example, is home to Aurora. Well, 12 people were killed by a shooter in a movie theater in 2012. It's also close to Columbine High School, the site of the 1999 high school massacre. So how many people killed in Columbine? 20-something? I honestly forget. So what, that's less than 40 people? So since 1999, 20 years, that 6th congressional district is close to the deaths where 40 people were killed. In 20 years. If you look up traffic deaths for that district, I will bet my life savings it is infinitely higher than 40 people. Are you fucking kidding me? You're crying and going on and on and on hysterically like, we need universal background checks, we need to take away our AR-15s, we need to confiscate guns, we need red flag laws. For what? For a couple of dozen people killed every year? Out of a population of 340 plus million people? That is such a small percentage. Why? Why are you caring so much about that tiny percent of people killed this method, but you ignore the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of deaths caused by other means? Traffic, obesity, smoking, heart disease, whatever, just to name 4 off the top of my head. Why are you silent on Facebook? Why are you silent in these polls? Why are you not screeching incoherently about that stuff? But this much, much smaller problem, quote-unquote problem, you're just incoherently screeching every single day. You're scared about gun violence. Oh my God, is my kid going to get shot up at a school? No. He had such a small percentage chance of getting shot at a school. I'll put up the stat again from my previous video. It is such an infinitely small percentage chance that your school that your kid goes to will be the site of a school shooting. It is literally not even worth your time to even fear it. It is, why would you let your life be run this way, that you are constantly in fear and cowering over things that have such a small percentage chance of happening? That is so retarded. That is so hysterical. That is so pathetic. The poll found that the vast majority of women surveyed want Congress to pass several gun control measures. In addition to the 90% who supported a universal background check, 76% of women polled also said they wanted Congress to ban the purchase and use of semi-automatic weapons like AK-47s and AR-15s. Though these women priorities might change before November 2020, they're not going to. None of this is good news for Republicans in battleground states and districts. Suburban women were forced to be reckoned with in the 2018 midterms. Yeah, bitchy Karen and bitchy Beckys, yeah, those are forced to be reckoned with. Why? Because people bend over backwards whenever a woman starts crying over anything. They've done studies. They've had men in like Central Park, like actors, start crying about something. Everyone ignores them for hours and doesn't do a damn thing. As soon as a woman starts crying, everyone just rushes to her aid. Oh, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Did you lose something? Did you lose your kid? Like, what's wrong? Society caves to women crying over non-existent fucking problems. Okay, I'm not going to read every single paragraph. It's going to take forever. Okay. Yep. Here are the measures the women supported. A measure that would require a 48-hour waiting period between when someone buys a gun and when they're actually able to take possession of the gun. 88% of women and 89% of independent-leaning women supported this. Literally, this would not stop a single mass shooting that has ever happened. Ever. This will not stop any shooting for that matter. If a person wants to kill people, waiting 48 hours is no fucking big deal. 48 hours goes by like nothing. How is that going to stop anything? Oh, but it makes these women feel good. It emotionally satisfies them. Oh, we're doing something good to stop this non-existent problem, to make myself feel better about myself because I'm a massive fucking cunt and probably my husband hates me for being such a massive fucking cunt. So I'm going to take it out on the world by supporting monumentally retarded fucking legislature. A measure known as red flag law. Yeah, I'm sure bitchy women would love this law, which allows law enforcement to temporarily take possession of guns from someone who may present a danger, either to themselves or others. So all it takes is a woman's word, which we know is gold in this country, because you just accuse a man of something and then they're put on public trial and stripped of all their achievements in life, and their name is forever ruined and soiled because of a simple accusation, which anyone can make against anyone for anything for that matter, but that's beside the point. Because we must believe all women. Hashtag believe women, hashtag me too, hashtag I'm not a sexist. 84% of women and 85% of independent-leaning women supported this. So all it takes is a woman who is mad at a man for any reason whatsoever. Could be that she's a massive fucking cunt, or he broke up with her because she's a massive fucking cunt, and she gets mad at him, so she just calls the cops and makes up a sob story, saying, oh, this person, my ex-boyfriend, he's a danger, he has guns, and then boom, his guns are taken away. They will believe a crying woman any day over a man saying, no, she's hysterical, she's actually lying because she's mad at me because I broke up with her because she cheated on me. What do you think the police are going to believe? That or an hysterical woman crying, saying, this man's going to kill me, this man is a danger to himself. Take away his guns, please. It's for my safety. It's for my children's safety. Well, where's your proof of this? Well, I don't have any proof. But you must believe me, otherwise you're condemning me to die. A full 73% of women believe these proposals would make their communities safer. But none of these proposals will make their communities safer. First of all, suburbia is not under threat. Suburbia is not in danger. The places where these women live are not dangerous for them. Second of all, these proposals would not make their communities safer. Again, rifles, I'll put up the stat. I don't have it in front of me. It's like 323 or 300. It's like in the low 300s. Let's just go with 323 until I see otherwise. 323 people are killed by rifles every year in this country. That's it. Taking away AR-15s and AK-47s would literally have no effect on how your community is safe or not safe. They just kill too few people to make a difference. It just makes absolutely no sense. But these women never look that stat up. They never look that stat up. You can never corner these women into reading this stat. If you post on Facebook when they're whinging out about how we need more gun control, they just won't respond to it. They're just like, oh, that's just fake news. That's Fox News. That's propaganda. I don't want to listen to it. Oh, they just won't comment in the first place and they'll walk away, still believing their bullshit. You can't nail people down and just like, look, you think this proposal of taking away AR-15s and AK-47s would make your community safer, but these guns literally don't have any effect on your communities whatsoever. They're never forced to face that reality. And they will go on believing these retarded-ass ideas because no one can pin them on it. They just avoid argument in person. They'll say you're harassing them. They say, well, I just don't talk about politics that much, but yet they have very opinionated opinions about politics, but yet you can never discuss them with them. They just back off like, I don't talk about politics. When you try to talk to them online, they just stop talking to you in the thread, or they'll laugh, react to your statement, they don't say anything, or they're like, oh, that's a made-up stat. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's verified by the FBI. They've done reporting on this for decades. You can literally look up every single year they've taken this stat. I mean, like, and it's verified by other agencies. It's literally not made up. Oh, yeah, it is. Trump's in charge of the White House. He's in charge of the government, so therefore anything that the government produces is Republican propaganda. I've heard that one before. Okay, well, what about when Obama was in charge of the FBI and they came out with the exact same stats? It's like 200, 300 a year. They just stopped responding. It's just so fucking amazing. Trump is pulling underwater with these women. None of this is likely to help Republicans look to court suburban women in 2020 because they see a brash, rude man like Trump and they instantly shrivel up in disgust like, oh, he's so rude. He's not presidential. They just care about demeanor. They care about looks. They care about how he's conducting himself, his tone, how well he speaks. That's why they loved Obama. Suburban white women wanted Obama's thick black cock so fucking much. They adored him. Oh, what a well-spoken black man. He's not like those gangsta black men. He's so educated and well-spoken. He's so well-to-do. I love him. Trump, he's just so mean and brash and rude. He's just so mean to women. I can never vote for him. Like, that's the conversation going through their stupid heads. These women also tend to favor the Democrat in their House district when polled on the generic ballots, which shows that public sentiment is still favoring Democrats, at least in these 5 swing districts. What a fucking surprise. What a surprise that overly emotional, non-rational, hysterical women tend to vote Democrat. Didn't see that one coming, man. Did not. I could not have predicted that. The Trump presidency is a crisis to democracy, our values, our morality. It is making women physically sick. That is the word they use all the time. The word is nauseous. That is so over the top. That is so hysterical. Obama can drone strike children into tiny bits. But since they don't hear about it and he doesn't talk about it, then they love him. But when Trump says a mean word, when he says the P word on television more than a decade ago, nope, that's crossing the line. I cannot vote for you. You are just so unpresidential. It makes me nauseous. It makes me physically sick. Drone striking children, don't have a problem with that. Saying the P word On television, nope, that's crossing the line. That's literally how their brain works. That's so fucking amazing. Let's wrap this up. Flash forward to 2019, and these voters still aren't seeing a lot of results on these issues. It's not for lack of trying on Democrats' parts. Well, actually, Democrats are not trying, even when they had full control of the presidency and both parts of the Congress. They did jack shit about it, and their proposals wouldn't actually work. Republicans are constantly trying to pass actual legislature that would curb gun violence, to solve single-parent households, to expand concealed carry, to get rid of gun-free zones, to educate people on guns, to make people more adept in using guns. These things would objectively lessen gun violence. There's studies, you can Google it. It's I'm not going to waste. It's all fucking there. But Democrats block those proposals constantly, saying that it's barbaric and uncivilized, and how dare you, and think of the children. So that sentence is wrong. But McConnell has declared himself as the Grim Reaper of Democratic legislature on Capitol Hill. Good, because all the legislation sucks dick. It's completely horrible. It makes this country worse than it already is. The midterms were a warning sign for Republicans, but they aren't showing many signs of changing their ways that could spell trouble for them in 2020. Actually, the Republicans fared much better in the midterms of 2018 than Obama and Democrats did in 2010. Obama got eviscerated in 2010. The huge Tea Party backlash. He lost both houses, the House and the Senate in Congress. The Republicans only lost one. Traditionally, 2 years after a presidency, that midterm, that party gets eviscerated because people constantly switch back and forth for some unknown reason. I don't know why they keep on switching between the parties. And they're like, why is nothing fixed? I just keep voting for the same two parties all the time. Nothing happens. But no, Republicans fared much better in 2018 than Obama did in 2010. So they were in a much better position for the 2020 election than Obama was in 2012. Because Obama never got back the Congress. He had those first 2 years, and after that, he never got him back. And that's why, partially why he's ineffective as fuck, but that's beside the point. So it's like, no, Republicans are perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine. Suburban women are not going to knock them out. Demographics will, but that's another topic for another time. Oh, am I racist for saying that?